Hello everyone. Today we will be dealing with Unit 2 of Class 11 Education. Have you ever wondered why we take different subjects? Why math, science, social science, English, and geography? Why can't there be just one subject in a class? Our school life could have been much easier, isn't it? But remember, whenever a teacher comes to the class, he or she comes with some objectives, with some goals that he or she intends to impart in a day of the class. But did the teacher choose the topic at his will? Or did the teacher choose the topic according to his mood? It is because of the syllabus. How are the syllabus framed? Why is our syllabus framed this way? We will all learn about it as we discuss the aims of education. If a teacher is aimless in his teaching, he will be like a ship without a rudder. The methods he or she will use, the techniques, the values he inculcates in the students, all are shaped by the aims of education that is already set. How important it is as a student to have an aim in life, so also how important it is for the education to have its aims. Aims give direction to activity. If there is a clarity of aim, then the steps we take becomes meaningful. But education cannot have a single aim. It cannot just have one aim. With the passage of time and the change of civilization, even the aim of education must change so that it can be relevant. But even if there are many aims of education, let us learn about two most controversial aims, that is, the individual aim and the social aim of education. We have heard the great controversy between the educational system of ancient Greece and Rome, the reason being, should education train good citizen or good individual or society? Let me ask you too, do you think education should develop individuals or society? Which one first? Think about it. The most ardent supporter of the individual aim was Sir Thomas Percy. He was a professor of education at the University of London. He believed that education should aim at the complete development of individual. He believed also in maximum freedom of the individual, and hence freedom should be granted to every individual. In his own words, quote, "Nothing good enters the human world except in and through the free activities of individual, men and women, and all educational practices must be shaped to accord with that truth." Unquote. Percy believed that all individuals must make his original contribution depending on his nature. Some philosophers supporting the individual aim are of the opinion that development of individuality through education is nothing but self-expression. Rousseau, the French philosopher, also supported the idea of free expression for individuals' development. Professor A.S. Neil, G. Thompson, A. and Whitehead are some prominent individuals who spoke in favor of individual aim of education. You have heard about Montessori and Froebel. They too supported this view, but in a little different way. According to them, free expression doesn't mean without discipline. It is not freedom from restraint. To sum up, individual aim of education allows a person the joy of self-discovery, and that with education which is an art. Whatever we learn in the classroom, in freedom, must be applicable in a real-life situation for the students. As good as the individual aim of education sounds, it is not without limitations or disadvantage. Let us discuss some of them. What if there were no rules in the school? Can you imagine your school without discipline, no timing, no routine, and each student is given absolute freedom to do whatever they want? Your parents will never send you to that school even if you want to, isn't it? It is important to note that if individual aim is carried to extremity, it can make you undisciplined and selfish. Always thinking about self. There will be no sharing, there will be no giving, and in other words, there will be no peaceful coexistence. Carried to extremity, individual aim will not be scientific because then the society won't progress. We have heard about great personalities of the history. They made great achievements. Although the individual got the name and fame, it was not he or she alone who did it. Let us now learn about social aim. Let me start with a question. Choose one of the options. A. Individual builds the society. Or B. Society builds the individual. The supporters of social aim of education believes that individuals should be trained for the good of the society. Raymond strongly commended, the isolated individual is a figment of imagination. Cooperation, cohesiveness among individuals will enable a person to enjoy the amenities of life. You cannot stay alone in an island. Yes, we need people around us for communication or for help. In the words of John Dewey, social aim in education is directed towards the attainment of social efficiency. Education should make each individual socially efficient, and this social efficiency must be achieved by the positive use of individual powers and capacities. Yes, a socially efficient person is able to earn his livelihood. He is a good citizen first and understands and appreciates the environment in which he lives. If you look at the history, the Japanese, the Nazi regimes, their educational system was directed towards producing good citizens. Patriotism was very much a part of their syllabus, because of which they fought and expanded their territories. The Cultural Revolution in China, for example, in the 1960s, was aimed towards achieving progress and prosperity, and also the abundance in the country. Coming back to India, Mahatma Gandhi, who propounded the basic scheme of education, emphasized social efficiency through art and craft. Through art and craft, he believed an individual will be able to make a tremendous contribution towards the Indian society. The social aim of education, to sum up, is of the belief that individuals should get educated for the sole purpose of developing the society as a whole. Nevertheless, social aim of education too have its own limitations. Firstly, an individual is considered as a non-entity. It is the state that controls everything. There is no room for individuals' uniqueness. The aim of citizenship will not allow the individual to be critical and will be left with satisfaction even if he or she sees problems and evils that exist in their society. History is a proof that violence and war at large scale, even against the neighboring countries, are a result of too much emphasis on social aim of education. Secondly, the idea of powerful state curbs the individual's aspiration, their needs and desires. Silent obedience or blind loyalty to one's nation is not acceptable in this modern world. Thirdly, too much emphasis on social efficiency gives birth to individuals' dissatisfaction or even frustration. So now we have heard about the individual aim versus the social aim of education. Which aim do you think is better? Think about it. We will discuss more on it in the next session. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Take care.